This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
You guys, we're back. We're back in the back house, baby.
It feels like it's been forever.
It does because we banked.
Yeah.
So like there was only one episode they watched that we weren't back here, which
Right.
was, the Up the Skirt episode last week.
Yeah. And amazing that everyone loved the live episode. It was really nice and I think a little healing for all of us to hear each other sing granny rants and laugh together. Honestly, it made me feel like our podcast is funny.
Wow, Grace.
It's just you and I back here with empty space in between everything we say. So to be in front of an audience and be like, oh, yeah, this is a very entertaining podcast.
It is. I was particularly on one.
You've been on many for weeks.
I've been on more than once, but it was so nice. You guys, I know we said it in the body of the podcast last week, but this was our first time doing a show that wasn't like, obviously we did a couple live ones in the UK, but the theme songs were new. And when that granny rant came on and people sang along and like were bouncing around to it, it was a top tier moment for
Spiritual.
me. Yeah.
I was like,
this is how rock stars feel.
This is a religious experience right now. We're in a cult. This is our church. And here we go.
I love there's always those TikToks that are, oh God, there's so many fucking funny people on TikTok. But there's one guy I remember seeing and it was like when the pop star like hears people say their, like sing the lyrics for the first time and it's like, da-da, you got...
Yeah.
And that's how I felt during Granny Rants.
The way Taylor Swift still performs.
Yes. Like she shocked this stadium. This sold out for 300 night stadium knows the lyrics.
Yeah. She can't believe it. It's unreal. But that was so wonderful.
Such a good time.
How are you?
Look at me. Look at me. How do you think I am?
I'm exhausted just watching your social media. Honestly, again, you gave me your entire schedule, the route of your travel, and I could never commit it to memory. And so every time I'm opening up Instagram and I wake up and you're like 3 hours ahead and I've already done 17 things, I'm like, she's really putting in the effort.
I put my whole pussy.
Yeah.
I said it with my whole chest. I left it all on the dance floor.
You did.
I went for broke and now I am broke. Because that tour cost me, baby. But no, it was so amazing. I mean, I was so happy to have you there at like kind of the midway point.
Yeah.
Which felt so good. And for also you just to like be in the mix. And then it just kept going.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, Grace is on the flight back from Chicago. I'm about to go do the show in Kansas City, do the show in Austin the next night, then be in North Carolina, then go to New York, then go to DC. Then I've never... Well, here's my question. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a question, but like I was thinking about it and I was like, I haven't done a span of time that feels that go in years. But also with our touring, I feel like the most we ever did was like 4 shows in a week.
Not even. We did like maybe 3 in a weekend span. And that's just doing one show on stage and then a meet and greet afterwards. But you did something, I don't even know how to compare it because like even when I've done book tours in the past, like there's a lot of people with me or it is handled. You did it by yourself the whole time.
That's what I'll say is I even think about like, what's the Lux's tour we've ever done? And it was when we went to Australia and we had an actual tour manager and
Shrimp Biscuit.
And Shrimp Biscuit made sure our luggage got places and got us to the lounge. And this was just me and 2 suitcases and like 2 backpacks getting up, calling an Uber. Like there were no car services. I booked I was booking my hotel on the flight to that town.
You were doing all the admin on the fly.
Yeah. So that I feel like was a whole other level of exhaustion. But all that said, meeting everyone who came out and like doing that face to face of people being like, Grace, you don't understand like how many mother daughters, mother sons, and like sisters or siblings, their biggest thing to me was we talk once a week because we're saying, have you listened to the pod yet? Like their like nugget, their topic to stay in touch is our podcast. And so it was just like,
so cool.
I'm exhausted and I'm going to cry in your face right now.
I know. Yeah. It's really, you would tell me a little bit about it when I finally got to see you the other week. And it's just so touching. It's really sweet because I think we get very trapped in our own lore a little bit about coming from the YouTube space. And so there's, I think, a big assumption and a truth that a lot of the audience comes from that history.
Right.
And so it's so exciting to hear that people are continuing to find this podcast and find it in ways that have no recollection of our history.
Oh, I had two different cities.
Yeah.
This was the first time they'd seen me.
Really?
Because they were like, I listened to the podcast, but I didn't know what you looked like, and you're not on the cover of the book.
Oh my God.
And then someone, God, he was so adorable, at the Day Trip Asheville party in North Carolina was like, oh, I've been a fan forever. Like, I love the podcast. But I'm not on social media. I didn't know Chip was so handsome. Because Chip was there. He was like, you're telling me? He was like, I was expecting, I don't know, an old man or something. Wow. He was like, I had no idea. Like, Chip was so cute.
Wow.
I was like, yes, he's for the gays. He was built in a lab for the gays.
He really was. He really was.
But I was like, oh my God, that was like a whole other layer because when you think about it, like with our podcast, I'm nosy. So if I started listening to a podcast,
I'm looking it up
randomly. I'm looking up what the person looks like.
Yep.
But I think of NPR people, like certain things I listen to, where I'm like, I don't know what the host of The Splendid Table looks like.
Yeah.
Some people just found our pod and like aren't psychos and didn't immediately need to see what we look like or follow us on Instagram.
Wow.
So
that is wild.
Cool.
That's wild to go to an event.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm going to see this person for the first time. Wow. Like a blind date.
Blind.
Yeah.
Love is blind.
Wow. How cool.
Yeah.
It's also been, a second since we've really been able to meet people on the road like that. So it's just like, I don't know. It's very emotional. It's very touching.
It was wonderful. It is the longest. Here's what I'll say. I feel like I was redeemed in my own brain for how many sleepless nights I had.
What do you mean?
Because what I took on was so crazy to take on by myself.
A Herculean task.
That it made me go, you weren't overthinking this. Like you were up at night stressed and thinking about this for 5 months because it was such a big task.
It's huge.
Like once it was presented and I was like, oh, and I arranged the books to get here. And then I hired the drag queen. And then I figured out what time I needed to get there. And then I did the ticket sales.
Insane.
So I'm very proud of myself. I'm very tired.
You've
I'm
earned
very
it.
Tired.
A very extremely well-earned exhaustion.
Woo!
And I think it speaks volumes because every time I see someone posting about the book, it just looks beautiful in everyone's home.
Thank
you.
I'm very proud. Also, oh wait, you've announced, right?
Yeah, I'm going to Edinburgh Fringe.
Yes.
Finally. I know. I was like, did I announce? I've been waiting for weeks to say I'm going to Fringe, and finally I could say it. And that's why there aren't more tour dates announced, because everyone's like, why the fuck aren't you doing New York or New Jersey or Boston or anywhere that you normally go? And it's because the Fringe has been getting worked out, and it kind of happened last minute for their deadlines. To
Scotland, baby.
For a month. Oh my God.
So everyone was asking me, and I'm like just basically your PR person on this tour of how people need to see it, but you hadn't announced it yet. And so a lot of people said, well, when are you going to do another podcast tour in the States? Because it's been a minute. So Grace has got big news. She's pretty spoken for this year. And then once we are through things and feeling good and both tackled these beasts, then we have to go on tour because people are like, Chicago was so fucking fun.
I loved it so much. And I think I don't want to speak for you, but I get in my head so much about when we do live shows, it needing to be enough. So we script everything and we'll do like
you
comedy.
Asked me about 10 times, should we do a PowerPoint?
Right. Yeah. Because I'm like, it has to be like enough for the price of the ticket that they're paying. And then it was just so fun and so encouraging that immediately we got backstage. I was like, we need to go do more of these.
We need to do more of these.
We need to go places. And like, I think there is a way to go to the cities I've already done the show in a little bit or will be doing over the summer and slowly start to fold that in more and more. Cause it was just an incredible energy. I mean, thank a lot to Claire Torres,
who, listen, Guys, I support local drag.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, the drag acts that were on the tour were so much fun. Oh my God, Grace.
Wait, the one that was in Austin, I saw clips of, and that's what I wanted to ask you about. She looked amazing. You had told me before that she was like, oh, I have some sound cues I'm going to use.
Laurie Bird came out and like this.
Well, like Larry Bird?
Yeah, but Laurie.
Oh my God.
Or Lori. Yeah, but just full incredible, just such a pro, and just had all these sound clips of Tyler and I doing the wine rack video set to Whitney Houston's It's Not Right, but it's okay. Like had streamers at the end, like full a 5-minute performance. Like
my God,
like Lori came out and
physical demand
did the full VO. It was like, are you not good at cooking? She's like, no. Like this full routine. And I was just like, this is such a nice 5 minutes where I get to just sit here and enjoy.
Yeah.
But also I was just like, oh yeah, I think we need drag queens at every show.
Every
it just brings
show.
such a good. Have you been watching? Are you watching All Stars?
I'm now caught up on All Stars. I'm loving it.
Okay.
No shade to the most recent season of Drag Race, but to watch All Stars perform is just another level.
Here's my question, because I watched it on on Saturday with Steve.
Yeah.
And I missed the last 2 seasons of Drag Race. What is wrong with me?
You saw Dawn's season.
I saw Dawn's season, and then so then I only missed one.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dawn, who I'm obsessed with.
Same.
But with this All Stars, there are a couple I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
But also, what was I going to say? I'm so brain dead. Well, Phoenix.
Yes, I wasn't familiar with Phoenix. Yeah. Look, these queens are doing something that's got to be so fucking intimidating.
No, I know.
Like, imagine if you got invited to a TikTok convention right now and they were like, come do this little challenge with all these TikTokers that know how to use the internet way differently than you know how to use the internet.
But also, I will say, I'm blanking on her name, who was out first.
Irene the alien
killed the last 2 challenges.
She's redeemed herself. Irene Redeem. I was trying to figure out a pun there, but she has just redeemed herself in such an incredible way that I knew she was going to be good, but I didn't know it would be this funny and satirical.
I'm going to say when she comes out as she came out as a Republican and cracked open the wig and there was a little alien.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is a top 5 Drag Race outfit for me. It's so camp. It's puppetry. It's, Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going to watch this season is what I'm going to say.
I saw Tyler post a clip of seeing her do that live.
Yes.
With like an alien muumuu on of pictures of her on the muumuu, but then it was like a SpongeBob soundbite, SpongeBob and Patrick that was going back and forth. So she's just crushing it. Bosco.
Oh my God.
Body yaddy 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 yaddy.
I wanted to cover Chip's eyes.
I know, seriously.
I was like, don't look at Bosco's tits. They're so good.
They are worth every penny.
So anyway, that's just a little aside that I feel like I really fell off of the Drag Race world, and I am making a commitment to watching the All Stars.
It's a good season. I didn't know if this format was going to be interesting.
I don't love the format.
I am still getting used to it. I was seeing people tweet that this category or whatever the first group was the group that they were least excited for. So if it's this high caliber in a group that they're not that excited for, then they can't wait for the rest. I don't even know who's in the rest of the groups. I forgot that this season was even airing. Yeah. So it's very fun so far.
Love it. Y'all, summertime is upon us, and you need some quality shades that are built to last. Well, our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank or break They're very high quality, okay? They're an independent sunglass company offering world-class product rated 5 stars by over 3,000 people, y'all. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics. So if you're wearing them while you're outside playing sports, they're not going to slip off your nose and you're not going to miss the ball because they're all scratched up. When I'm wearing them on my vacation, I'm going to see those whales, okay? You know I love to go whale watching on a boat. Well, I'm going to see them through those crystal clear optics of my new Shady Rays. Plus, I'm going to look cute. The frames are adorable. They've got these new aviators. They've got all different options. You've got to go check them out if you want a quality sunglass that you can also feel good about because they have got protection, all right? Every pair is backed with lost or broken replacements. Don't sweat it if it takes an unexpected hit or goes missing. Their protection is insane, okay? If you don't love your shades, forget if you lose them, but if you just don't love them, exchange for a new pair or return them worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. You're not going to be tossed around on customer service all day long. No, this is an independent sunglass company. You are going to get helped out when you need it because you can't go without your Shady Rays, you know what I'm saying? All right, exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal. Head to shadyrays.com and use code WEIRD for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars and over by 300,000 people, okay? Don't be shady. Go check out Shady Rays.
Are you craving your next action-packed adventure? Well, Audible delivers thrills of every kind on your command. From electrifying suspense and daring quests to spine-tingling horror and romance in far-off realms. Unleash your adventurous side with gripping titles that keep you guessing, exclusive, captivating Audible originals, hotly anticipated new releases, and must-listen bestsellers that hook you from the first minute. Whether it's a heart-pounding suspense like the Audible original Mad Love, a fantasy romance adventure like Onyx Storm, ooh, or a listen with the lights on epic like Stephen King's latest Never Flinch, plus more big releases like Frida McFadden's The Tenant and Amelia Hart's The Sirens. Audible has over 1 million audiobooks, podcasts, and originals all in one easy app. You know we love listening to audiobooks. I'm still currently listening to Stolen Focus, Why You Can't Pay Attention, and How to Think Deeply Again by Johann Hari. You could say I'm working on focusing my focus of this book. I'm on chapter 6, slowly making my way, and I'm learning so much. If you want to learn so much, start listening and discover what's beyond the edge of your seat. New members can try Audible now free for 30 days and dive into a world of new thrills. Visit audible.com/TMGW or text TMGW to 500-500. That's audible.com/TMGW or text TMGW to 500-500.
Okay, what do we got going on? I got so much going on.
I know. I feel like you have probably 1 billion stories. You've lived 1,000 lives on the road.
I have. Well, first, this is just a thought I had that isn't a story and it isn't about the past month, but I just feel like we should talk about it.
Okay.
I feel like more things should come in tortilla bowls.
Is this a granny rant?
No.
Okay.
Or like in general, we should expand the edible bowl. Yeah. I know we've talked about it with the bread bowls, but like sometimes I'll see, like I don't love a Mexican salad because for me as a vegetarian, it's usually just like, and then some beans and some shredded lettuce, whatever. But like I would eat a Caesar salad in a tortilla bowl. I would eat a Greek salad in a tortilla bowl. I feel like a tortilla bowl should be an option at more restaurants than a traditional Mexican restaurant.
I agree with you. I love a tortilla bowl. I find it hilariously difficult to eat publicly sometimes.
But like in a fun like fajita way where you're like, check this out, guys.
Right.
You know, like
look at
conversation
this
starter.
Novelty. Absolute novelty. Yeah, I think there should be more edible bowls across the board in restaurants. Like how do we fry up mashed potatoes, turn them into like a structural piece that you could put things in the middle of?
That might be a bit much for me.
You know, sidebar, one of the ideas I had for our tablescaping competition.
Oh my God.
Potato table. Just a table.
Is it finding your happiness?
Dedicated to potatoes.
I'm in. I think we could figure this out.
French fries everywhere. Mashed potatoes in martini glasses.
Yeah.
Well, the opportunities are endless.
I've been thinking, by the way, that's another thing. Every single Q&A I had in every single town, someone said, what's going on? Oh, I have a book to show you.
I saw. Yeah.
A sweet gentleman in Asheville gave me a vintage book about folding napkins. But he came up aggressive. He says, what the fuck is going on with the tables? Like, people really were reading me. I was like, we're on it, guys. I had a book tour.
Tim and I talked the other week, and he literally at one point was like, what's happening with the tables? He's like, you're running out of time. I was like, stop. First of all, I love you. Thank you. Stop. Mamrie's doing a lot right now, and she's got to do this, and then we're going to do that. Okay?
Yeah. Once we nail down how we are approaching the theme, then I think it's very fun.
Off to the races.
I did fall into one of the competitors' YouTube channel earlier today.
Oh, you did? Okay. Good research.
Yeah. I think we need to really get in their minds.
Yeah. Psych them out.
No. Not like intimidate them. I just mean get in their mindset. Not get in their actual minds.
Just start dropping off presents on their front desk or front door.
I thought a Dorito bowl. Like, why? How is Doritos? How has there not been a Cool Ranch bowl that like you buy a pack of 6? Like they're shaped like a coffee filter.
Right.
And you buy a pack of 6 at the grocery. Like, where are the?
Because you know how they make
hot
those.
Taki bowl.
You know how they make the Dorito taco shells.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they have the flat bottom.
So we know they can be shaped.
Right. So I guess maybe the molds. I don't know what's costing it. Also, it makes me think of in pottery they like wrap clay around in circles. So like as a style of how they start making pots. Do that with noodles of some kind.
Okay.
Deep fry it.
Oh.
And then you have a noodle bowl structure, like a basket.
I think you've got a video.
Right? But it's too much work. It's a lot of hand work.
I hear you. So that's my big take today.
Edible bowls.
Is I would just like, specifically I love edible bowls, but I would just like more types of salads beside a shredded iceberg salad from the Mexican restaurant to be served in the tortilla.
There you
bowl.
go.
You know, give me a Greek salad with a side of hummus so I can take pieces off that tortilla bowl and dip it in the hummus.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Right?
That'd be really great.
Because it's not really, you can't really go to a Mexican restaurant and be like, can I just get a bowl to go?
I guess you could.
I guess.
Technically.
I guess I'm going to try it this week and report back.
There should be just a quick service restaurant that's just bowls. And it's a variety of different edible bowls with a variety of fillings like a salad bar that you could fill them with.
I agree. Okay. I was on a lot of flights. I flew. I was in 12 different states in 14 days. Oh, God, I wish drugs. But so I don't have any massive story, but I do have like a couple quick things I saw on flights.
Love it.
That I have thoughts on.
Great.
One, I was sitting beside a man who was reading a book called It's Good to Be a Man. And I looked it up, and it's a book just about like for men to remember they are the alpha species and that like women were made to bow down to him.
It's ironic.
And I pretended to have very important calls in front of him.
Good for you.
Like I landed and I was like, no problem. Where's my driver? A boss lady. You know what I mean?
Wow. Grow in wisdom. Lead with strength.
It's good to be a man.
Wow. That's for dicks. It's literally for dicks.
Crazy to read that in front of a woman.
Wow. Or just in public at all.
In public at all. Speaking of in public, I was waiting.
That's so cringe. It's so stupid.
Well, it's like all those, now they have those men's conventions.
What?
You've seen these, right? The mega churches where it's like men's weekend. Like we're going to claim our masculinity back.
Oh,
Snowflakes.
man. She doth protest too much, boys.
It's just a Righteous Gemstones episode.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting waiting and, you know, I got a couple upgrades.
Nice.
First class.
Nice.
I'm happy to report because of this tour, I'm already platinum next year. Oh.
Absolutely worth it.
Oh. I'm sitting there and I hear a guy is boarding. And I see the flight attendant like looking at him, but he's out of view. And she was like, I don't know if it'll even fit up there, but you can give it a shot like where you're seated. And if not, you can bring it back up and I'll put it in the coat closet. Okay. And I was like, what's going on? He rounds the corner. It is like a fox mascot head with a muzzle on it. He was a furry.
What?
He was a furry and he fully brought his furry head on.
Wow.
Like not in a box. Obviously it couldn't fit in a suitcase.
Right.
It was this big. But
how do they? Wow.
But he also didn't take the like leather daddy mask off of it. So it was just a fox with like a leather daddy studs, like all that. And I was like, wow, you're really walking onto this plane, putting your fucking furry mascot head in the above compartment.
Representation matters.
The overhead compartment.
Wow. That is wild. And I guess good for
1,000%.
him.
I want to be like, hey.
I wish he was sitting next to the "it's good to be a man" guy.
What
that would have been amazing.
So I was just like, wow.
Wow. A question I never considered before. How do they travel with that shit?
That shit does not fit in a suitcase. And also you might be like, this is custom. This cost me $3,000.
Right. So you don't want to check it and let it get thrown around.
But like looking at my big ass luggage, no way it would have fit in that. It would have been crushed.
Yeah.
So you have to carry on. But I was like, he could have put it in a trash bag, but then everyone might have been like,
What's that
fucking trash bag
you're
bringing in here?
Instead, people don't have to ask questions. It's just right in their face.
Well, I wonder if he left the leather daddy muzzle on it, what did it look like without it?
Do you think it was detachable or that it was like sewn on?
I do. I just don't know if maybe it was like.
So he wanted people to know.
He wanted people to know.
Yeah.
Or whatever the mascot looked like without it was even more offensive.
Was worse. It just had like a full dick in its
hanging out
mouth.
of his mouth. Yeah. It was just a vagina mouth. Okay.
Oh,
Next thing that was weird or that I hated is when we landed in Austin, the flight attendant said, all right, all right, all right.
Wow.
But the next one I'm going to do is a granny rant.
Okay. I have one too. Wait.
Granny rant. Granny rant. Granny rant. We got a problem with something.
I need you guys to know that Larry and Beans, both sitting in the corner, were very weirded out by me dancing to granny rants.
Yeah. They were concerned.
Rightfully so. Okay, here is my flight granny rant.
Okay.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so I've said it once. I've said it a million times on this podcast, and that cue everyone's saying every single story.
Yep.
Every single story. I hate when you have to wish a happy birthday to people on the plane. I don't understand the person who is going out of their way to let the flight attendants know that it is their birthday and they would like it to be publicly recognized. I think it's very strange. Maybe if it's a kid's 5th birthday, you know, maybe if you want to embarrass your parents on their anniversary, but just a normal adult human, don't get it.
Yeah.
So we're flying to Austin and I hear, and we'd like to wish a very special 44th birthday. And I'm like, 44th? Okay. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
44th birthday to Tommy. I'm like, Tommy's a 44-year-old man who need, and his wife, if his wife embarrassing him, like what is going on here? Right. We'd like to wish him a very happy birthday. Can I get everyone real quick? Will you hit your call button?
What?
For the flight attendant.
Participation?
Will you everyone hit your call button? And I was like, no. They had everyone hit their call button. They dimmed the lights. And they said, now, Tommy, everyone here is going to sing happy birthday. And then you blow out those candles. The call button was the candle. I said, I'm never flying Southwest again. I said, wait a second. You're asking me to like wake up, hit a call button, have him blow them out, then uncall it. What is for his 44th birthday?
Southwest has relaxed on their drug policies for their employees.
I was like, I wouldn't do this for my friend.
That is wild. But also, you know, one of those people thought of in the middle of the night, what if we have people touch their call buttons and then someone blew their spitty breath through the cabin and we all blew them out?
I didn't even look to see if it was like many people did it. I was just
Was it a flight attendant's birthday or was someone on the plane?
Just a passenger.
Wow.
44th, not even 45th.
Wow. I wonder.
I think they sang the whole happy birthday. They didn't just say like, now blow out your candles, Tommy, and happy birthday. The plane was expected to sing the full. I don't even like to do that to like my nieces and nephews. I'm like, we all know the song.
I do feel like that song could be abbreviated now. Now that our attention spans are shorter, there's got to be a too long didn't read for a happy birthday. Just go
like, and happy birthday to you. Let's just hit the end, right?
Let's get to the good stuff.
We had to do special effects.
That is wild. I wonder, because in my cynic brain, I'm like,
lay it on me. You're always positive.
Well, I'm like, they can't just be doing that for funsies. I wonder if there's some kickback that they get, whether it's like, hey, take this survey and let them know that we did a good job, and they get, I don't know, some sort of benefit out of it. Or like they're just bored as shit and they're like, let's see if we can get these people to do some weird shit real quick.
I mean, it was
for
crazy.
A 44th birthday.
It was also a 7 a.m. flight.
That's too much in the morning.
Yeah.
That's too much. I want coffee and headphones.
Yeah. And everyone to shut the fuck up. I just couldn't believe, I've seen an overreach.
Yeah.
Of like, let's be quirky on a plane.
Yeah.
This one was like, and also statistically, okay, if you're on a plane, how many people are on that plane? About 200?
Maybe. Yeah.
Someone else's birthday.
Right. Yeah.
Like statistically, it is someone else's birthday.
And
watching that.
It's someone else's worst day anniversary.
Someone is flying to a funeral.
Right. Like someone's having the worst day of their lives and you make them hit their call button so a 44-year-old man can blow out his call button.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough scenario.
Next level.
We just started the rehearsal.
We're 3 in and I don't know if I can finish it.
We are. Yeah, we're 3 in.
I'm bored.
Are you bored?
I'm bored.
I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
And good. It just hits me in a spot that is tough to watch, but it's like, I know I should watch it because he's incredible at what he does. And there's nothing like it in what he's doing, but it hits this like, oh.
Here's what I'll say is I loved the first season.
Yeah.
And the second season was good too, but I loved it because it was like, it felt like everything he was doing, he was legitimately doing it method.
Yeah.
And this season feels like a shot list.
Yeah, some of it feels like a setup.
I got raised as Sully and I did this and the puppets and everything. And I'm just kind of like, oh, I feel like in season 1, when they really like went through how this guy was going to tell someone he didn't actually have the college education and they, everything we're doing as an actual rehearsal, this one doesn't feel like anyone's rehearsing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the name matches the vibe anymore.
Yeah, I can see that. I just feel like it's built.
Now who's a cynic?
There you go.
You tried to take it away.
Shit on the art you convinced me was great. It's building. It's building and I know it's going to be insane what it builds to.
I know I'll finish it. I'm just kind of like, I love the mundanity of the first 2 seasons. Yeah. And this one, when they got to the puppets and things, and I fucking love puppets.
Like I was on an edible, so I was like, this is crazy. Are you kidding me? What's going on right now? Yeah. Similar reaction to David standing up for Survivor.
Is this your granny rant?
No. My granny rant. Here's my granny rant. My granny rant is I don't like when snack packages have that little slit on the side that you have to open it versus being able to open it from both sides. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You'd rather have something you can put your hand in instead of
chips that are like you have to rip the side and then what do? You rip the whole side of the bag open? I rip the whole side. And then you turn it on its side to eat out of?
And then that becomes the top.
How do you close that back up?
Well, I'm talking about snack bags. I'm talking
about like full bags of chips that have like
that's absurd.
Right? Because I'll buy like, even like Smart popcorn will have like urine. the urine popcorn.
I was around a bowl of popcorn last night and I kept just going like, I think they're dog peas in here. I think they're dog peas in here. And I was like, oh no, I'm right above the popcorn.
It's those, that little rip in the side versus being able to rip it. Cause a lot of times I'm in my car and I'm eating snacks in my car. Love eating snacks in my car. And when I have to tear it open from the side, they get everywhere.
What is the most recent one you saw this at?
This was the kettle corn popcorn, that purple bag of popcorn.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? What's the brand? It's not the same as the pea popcorn.
That's Smart Food.
That's Smart Food. It's the other one that's competitive with Smart Food. And they have the little tear that you have to tear it down the side. And I don't like it.
Can you forego it? Does it stop
you?
No,
it won't let you rip.
It won't let you rip it?
Like you can't rip it. So I have to tear it a little bit and then get my fingers inside and pull it open.
You know what I want? You know,
and then it just like, I run the risk of the cartoonish popping of it everywhere.
This is what I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
We're
Scissors.
we're going to keep a little bag in your car, a little zip bag.
Yeah.
That have scissors.
Yeah.
And that has a chip clip.
We just got chip clips and it truly has changed our life.
Wait, you didn't have chip clips?
No, we're just crinkling and hoping for the best.
No. Chip loves a chip.
Of course he does.
Oh my God. No, because I would do just whatever and he would be like, where are the chip clips?
Yeah.
I mean, I put in his stocking one year, which works great, but we just never got into the routine.
Yeah.
It's just like a little thing that heats up and you just reclose the bag.
Whoa, that's heavy duty.
It's just battery operated. It's the size of like a lighter.
Yeah.
And you just go like, zzz, and you just
That's nice.
reclose the bag, which is nice. So I was like, well, look, I'm stepping up our home.
Yeah.
Like I'm really doing it. But no, a classic chip clip. We have chip clips that look like two chips.
That's cute. Yeah, Elliot just ordered whatever random was on Amazon because he cannot stand stale chips. I'm fine with stale chips.
Yeah.
My threshold when it comes to salty snacks, I'm like, I'll eat trash. I don't care. I'll eat it out of the trash.
Like, is this a salt and vinegar chip? It's like, that's the wrapper.
Yeah, it's like, no,
with
you're
vinegar on
You're
it.
eating the cardboard. It's fine by me.
No, but it's both shocking and of course you just got chip clips.
Yeah.
Even though you're the most chip person I know.
I think we had them before and then they broke or we weren't using them.
But I do think you should keep some chip clips in your car.
Yeah, I definitely should. And a vacuum. There's crumbs everywhere.
You need like a dust vac?
Yeah. Crumbs everywhere.
Yeah, my car is matching my brain right now. They say there's a direct correlation. Oh,
I bet.
I went to Sumo.
Yes. How was it? You dressed up like a ref?
Here's the deal. This is now our, I believe, third Sumo.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. The first one, Chip and I went, just the two of us, not knowing what to expect. He like randomly found it and it was like, hey, I got a date day for us. And I was like, I'm in. And we went and we were like, oh my God, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
So then the next year we went and we brought our friend Jim and Melissa, which were a hoot because they both have long curly hair. They'd never met and they were just like right on this. Like Melissa just got out and was like, who wants some mushrooms? Jim was like, I kind of do. We were like, oh, these two curly haired. So we went and we saw like some of the same sumo guys and we were like, we need to be like, oh, and they got sparkling sake over there. And then the drums are going to do this. And we like, loved it. So this time when they went on sale, I immediately got floor seats. And then I was like, oh, Grace and Elliot come, but you had plans, or we got like our wires crossed. And so we took Steve and Soren. And so that was fun to take two gay men.
Fun. Yeah.
That was a blast. But the first time I went, I noticed the referee is wearing white head to toe. So he's wearing a white collared shirt, white belt, white pants, white shoes, and a black bow tie.
Wow.
And he had like thick rim glasses, right? And he had
sleek.
like gloves.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I love this. It's the traditional way. And then I was like, if I ever come back, I'm going to wear that and get a picture with him. And then came back the next year and I was like, fuck, I forgot to do it. Right? So I was like, I'm going to do it. And then I woke up Saturday morning and I was like, fuck, I forgot to do it. We're leaving in 2 hours. Chip had a button down. I'd recently gotten some white capris. Don't ask me.
Wow. You are losing it.
I went to N. Taylor Loft. They had a 50% off sale. I said, white capris it is. Right? And so I had like a white rope belt. And then I went to the Dollar King where we go to get stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously they didn't have a bow tie. They had like a baby headband.
Perfect.
With a bow on it.
Perfect.
It was navy, but I was like, this is literally like my neck is the circumference of a baby skull, I guess.
Absolutely.
Did that, went and, was having so much fun. But here's what killed me. We're having our sake, we're having laughs, we're doing a good time. I was like, well, I got to get a picture standing in front of one of the refs, right? So we're in between matches. I get up, Chip's like taking a gazillion pics. People are like laughing. It's great. Yeah. And then I'm walking back. We just gotten big beers there on the floor. I'm walking back and this guy behind me looks at me and goes, did you know? I go, what? And they go, did you plan that? And I was so taken by the fact that this person thought, no, that's how I dress.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's how refs dress.
Yeah.
That I said, are you serious? And then I knocked over a full beer.
But
And then I knocked over a 20-ounce open beer, and Chip's like, May, whatever. I'm like, what? And I was like, they think this was
sorry.
They thought this was a random. I just
taken aback that they think this is my natural aesthetic that I wear out of my house.
I was like, you think I just came to a sumo match dressed as a female Colonel Sanders, and that just happens to be what the refs wear?
Maybe there are more mushrooms at this event than you know about.
It shook me to my core. I sat there for the next 2 hours and was like, did you know?
Do I give off white capri pants with a white button down and a baby headband vibes?
Like, did I walk in and go, oh my God, you guys, this is so embarrassing. This is what the refs wear. This is what the refs wear.
They told me at Ann Taylor it wouldn't happen like this.
I thought there was like a log of people. And then I was like, well, we should take a picture because I'm dressed like a ref. It blew my mind. And so I didn't get a picture with a ref because I was finally like, and they had their first female ref.
Cool.
Of the US Open. And so there were like 3 refs as opposed to just the original guy. So I was like, I'm going to get a pic with them. And then I was like about to go do it.
Yeah.
And like, the biggest guy there, it's the first time I thought like someone was having a heart attack. He was 650 pounds.
Oh my God.
And he like fell to the ground and all that. And then I like started to walk over and then I was like, I can't ask for a pic.
Inappropriate.
Literally this guy has medics around him.
Inappropriate.
Like people will boo me.
Yes. Yeah.
So I didn't get the pic, but it's only because someone almost died.
Yeah, it's for the best.
When I was planning on it.
You would have gotten canceled in some capacity.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But so that just... It killed me. It's like wearing a Beetlejuice costume to Universal and someone being like, were you aware there's a character that wears stripes like that?
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so funny. I know next year I want to go. Very much so.
You gotta. Y'all, people warn you about a lot of things when you get older, but what they don't talk to you about is how you can actually go to sleep and wake up the next morning sore. Yeah, that's right. If you don't have the right mattress, you can wake up in actual pain. And I saw that happening to me the older I got. I have become a regular Goldilocks of mattresses. It's too firm. It's too soft. Well, I finally found just what's right for me, and that is with the Helix mattress. Oh yeah, I no longer wake up with hip pain. I no longer wake up in the middle of the night 500 times because I've just sunken into the mattress. It is the perfect density for me, and you absolutely should give it a try. Not only am I waking up refreshed, but so are the 2 pups and Chip because I'm not waking them up every 30 minutes, having to move around or switch sides because the mattress isn't right for me. I'm absolutely obsessed with Helix. I know it's an investment in yourself when you get a new mattress. And I first heard about them because they wanted to sponsor the podcast. And I said, you know what? If I'm going to work with you, I'm going to need to sleep with you. It sounded worse than I meant it, but I got that Helix mattress and I have never looked back. So if you'd like to give it a shot, and I think you should, go to helix.com/weird for 27% off site-wide and a free bedding bundle. That includes a sheet set and mattress protector, very important, with any Luxe or Elite mattress order, only for listeners of This Might Get Weird. That's helix.com/weird for 27% off site-wide and free bedding bundle with a Luxe or Elite mattress order. Invest in yourself. Invest in your sleep. You are in that bed a third of the day, okay? It might as well be exactly what you want. helixsleep.com/weird. And be sure to let them know that we sent you by selecting our show name in the post-purchase survey. And thanks to Helix for sponsoring this week's episode and basically my last year of sleep.
Let's talk about caffeine, specifically coffee, specifically to me, espresso. I love my morning ritual of making espresso. It sets me up for my day. It is just some me time in the morning. However, I don't know what espressos to try. I've been using the same kind for a while, and that's why I'm so excited to try Trade. Trade is the #1 U.S. coffee destination, bringing you fresh coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Trade's experts have taste tested thousands of coffees to curate over 450 amazing roasts. Whether you're new to coffee or you know your favorites, they'll handpick the perfect coffee just for you, even cold brew for those hot summer days. Oh my God, a plethora of new caffeine options, and someone else picks it for me. This couldn't be more perfect for Grace Helbig. You just take their quiz, and in under a minute, they'll match you with your perfect coffee. And if the first bag isn't right, they will replace it for free until they nail it. I told them I want espresso. I'm open to all the options. And they sent me Cerberus coffee. It's called Wizard Cat Espresso Blend. Cute, fun, funny, playful, all of it. It's chocolate, it's fruity, it's berry, it's a roast level of medium, and it is absolutely delicious. And I look forward to it every night when I'm about to go to sleep, knowing that it's just around the corner. Their prices are on par with grocery store brands, but the quality is next level. Plus, you're supporting local roasters, so it's a win-win. And if you're headed out on summer vacation with trade subscription flexibility, you can pause or shift delivery while you're away and resume when you're home, ensuring that you'll come home to great coffee. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our listeners 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/TMGW. That's drinktrade, TRADE.com/TMGW for 50% off your 1-month trial. drinktrade.com/TMGW. Here's a little bit of science. Love to infuse a little bit of science.
And hey, listen, the amount of times people on tour were like, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm a scientist. So quit saying that scientists don't. She was like, literally, she was like some type of marine scientist who like goes, no, it wasn't. I forget what it was, but like would go out and be by herself a lot. Like in these, I don't know, whatever she was studying, North Pole, I'm not sure. But she was like, I save episodes of your pod to listen to because I'm by myself at like the research lab. Aww. She's listening to this being like, I never said research lab.
Yeah. She's like, I
never said any of this. Where is Larry?
Larry was around. Oh, he's just sitting in the sun.
Okay. I couldn't see him.
There.
Phew. But anyway, we have scientists who listen.
Which is incredible. And I will never fully understand the correlation between what we chat about and what you like about it, but...
Or the fact that it's so mindless that they're like, oh, for once, my brain isn't thinking about science.
Yeah.
It's thinking about how dumb these girls are.
Yeah, and how many things I would fact check them on. Mm-hmm. Well, this is interesting because this is something I think we've talked about before, and at least I believe with my gut, and now it's proven scientifically. A study revealed that the one-letter reply, K... is more damaging than being left on read. So according to a study published in the International Journal of Mobile Communications, K, just the letter K, was ranked as the most negatively received response in digital conversations, worse than being left on read and even a passive-aggressive sure. They said adding an extra letter, making it KK, softens the tone.
That's what Jacqueline does, but I think it's way too close to the Ku Klux Klan.
It is. And then variants like okay or okay spelled OKAY, while still cold, tend to be interpreted as neutral or merely formal. So,
you know what I do?
Yeah.
Okie dokes.
Okie doke. When you're trying to be passive aggressive?
No, when I need them to know I'm not.
Yeah, I add an exclamation point.
Of course, but
But now my text exchanges are just all exclamation points because I've convinced myself that that's friendlier. Now it just reads psychotic, but anytime I try to go back and take an exclamation point out, put a period in, looks way too like sinister.
Mean.
Yeah,
mean.
Cold.
If I said something and Chip responded K,
right,
I'd be like, so who gets the house?
So now
we're broken up.
Scientifically, it is proven that is the most damaging text you can send to someone. So if someone sends that to you, you are warranted in your anger.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, Jacqueline isn't doing passive aggressively. She does KK.
Yeah.
Like whatever. And I've like heard her actually say KK.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just too
close.
It's Kourtney Kardashian. It's Kim Kardashian. It's KKK.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
now it's Kanye. But a regular, just the letter K, I'd be like, don't fucking take the time to respond to me with one letter when it would have taken you no more time to hit an O.
And usually I feel like people send this and then they, throw rocks, hide their hands of like, I didn't mean it that way. Now we all know scientifically that's how it's interpreted. So we all know that if someone's sending that, they're being passive aggressive.
Can I give a little slogan for it?
Yeah.
Every diss begins with K.
There you go. Wow. Wow. And now we get to the interactive element of our podcast. I
forgot about this.
We have a placeholder track.
Oh, which I haven't heard. I've been so busy, I haven't even heard it.
Well, I added some music to it Teresa Walsh.
Yeah.
The musical genius behind Critter Corner has created a little, this is at least what we'll use for right now.
How long is it? Because people were...
10 seconds.
Okay, cool.
Here we go.
Should we have a call-in aspect?
I think we should do it.
A question from a listener?
A question from a listener?
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Love it. I would cut the ending.
Yeah, we can do whatever. She also sent she sent lyrics to a jingle that we can record on our own.
Love it.
This is just pulled from pre-recorded episodes. So
I think it's great.
Placeholder.
I love the first half. Grab me in the first half, coach.
Okay. Well, it's a work in progress.
I love it.
This is how we build together.
I love it.
As always, our email address is tmgwpodcast@gmail.com. Feel free to send us your voice notes with your questions. We have a bunch, which is so exciting.
I love it. And I also love that you said, as always. I think we've only said it once.
As always. This is me trying to create these neural loops for myself.
Get it.
Okay, I got 2 questions I pulled this week.
Thank you.
One is, okay, we'll do one's a little sillier, one's a little more serious.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, we're ending on serious?
Not really serious.
Okay.
Just a little bit more like
I got
real life.
I got nervous.
Hi guys, my name is Adrian and my question is, if you were being kidnapped and your kidnapper is watching you, text to your friends, what would you be able to text each other that would make the other one know that there's something seriously wrong? Like what would be so out of character for them to text you? Okay, thank you. Love you. Bye.
That's so great. That's like, how do you know there's a body snatcher kind of thing?
Honestly, this is, and I think it's a great thing to consider with your friends of like, what's our code? Like we used to have an emoji that I think we decided on sending when like one of us needed answers, but someone was too busy to respond.
It was the Easter Island head.
Yes.
I tried to get it going. No one was really that on board.
Yeah, it does take people to understand what you're sending.
The girl
for it to
who
work.
tried to communicate with her friends with a hieroglyphic stamp kit couldn't get the emojis to mean other things.
Yeah. So what would you, if your kidnapper was watching you text someone, what would you text that would be innocuous
Something's
enough?
wrong.
Yeah, without saying that directly. My first thought, well, now that I know the kidnapper's watching.
Like, what's the biggest lie?
The biggest lie I was going to say is like, call me.
Right.
Because like, if you want to jump, but if they're looking at me, say, call me. Let's see.
That is so tough because I'm trying to think of like, what are my innate truths? And it's like, Beans is the greatest girl in the world.
I think if it would be something like, Elliot and I are breaking up or something, that would be like, that's, but like, but I guess.
But I just text back? What if I texted back like, finally?
And I'd be like, shit. Well, I'm still kidnapped, I guess.
Yeah.
This is a fun like icebreaker to talk about with people.
That is a good one. But like, I don't have one because here's the thing. If I texted you and being like, you can't say, call me back. Right. So, and if I was just like, Beans is really sick, whatever, you'd be like, oh my God, let me know if you need anything. You know what I mean? Like, the emergency, but maybe me and you are just so not phone callers.
Right. That it was, but it's like, I wouldn't ask you to call me if a kidnapper's watching me text someone.
You'd want to be tracked or you'd want them to call the cops.
Right.
Now I just feel like you and I need a code.
I think if I texted you like, shut up randomly, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on? And then that might prompt you to call me to be like, are you okay? What's happening?
That's true. We would never say shut up to each other.
Right. Like something that was like out of character.
If you were like, if I was like, what up, girly? And if you texted back like, honestly, fuck you, Mamrie. I'd be like,
see, exactly.
Hey, what's going on? I'm halfway to your house. What the fuck is going on?
That would do it.
If we were lightly mean to each other or mean to each other, I would be like, you would hear a knock on your house so quickly.
I'd be skydiving into the top of your house. I'd be like, I'm here. What did I do?
What did I do? I'm already sorry, but let me know how I need to apologize. That is our guilty ass consciences would find and save. We'd go full Liam Neeson.
Total people pleaser of being like, what the fuck? I didn't mean
what
it.
What happened?
I didn't mean it, whatever it was. So that's a good one. So good. I think that's a good thing to talk about with your friends to get on those kind of same pages.
If Grace is ever really mad at me, I'll just be like, she's kidnapped. Thank God that she's not actually mad at me. Phew.
Okay, this is a very interesting question that I'm curious for us to talk about and also to get the audience's kind of point of view.
Okay.
Because I think people will have some potentially great advice that maybe we don't think of right away. And it's a little bit of a long setup, about a minute. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My question is, I'm on these dating apps as a fat woman, and the amount of like gym bros, guys that would never have shown me attention my entire life are suddenly matching with me. And I have a really hard time like starting conversations with them, or like even feeling confident enough to be like starting these conversations with them, whether it be Bumble or OkCupid or Hinge. And my question is like, what are some tips you might have for me, especially as an unfianced woman and a married woman, to sort of like break through this like confidence issue I'm having and just like engage with these guys as if, I mean, I am worthy, but like, you know, how do I break through the like trust issues I have of these are the guys that used to like prank me back in the day and act like they wanted to go out with me, but then like hide me from their friends. So like, how do I break through those fears and enjoy these like hot ass men that are now wanting to connect with me? Thanks. Love you guys.
This is easier said than done.
Totally.
But I feel like this is you just got to break the ice and get on the horse or the horse cock. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like.
Well, it's like, okay, so you want to talk to these guys.
It feels like she wants to talk to these guys. It's just that like her brain is wired that these are the guys that like weren't nice to her. And all of a sudden her body type is in fashion or like people have actually like realized, you know, like, this girl's hot as shit, you know, whatever it is, the tides have changed, but it's kind of like,
but you're still pre-programmed from all the high school ridicule of like, this is, how could you trust that this person's intentions are pure?
Exactly. And I have no other advice, but like, take a chance and go out with the one you think is the hottest with no expectations.
Go with low expectations. Even
with no expectations, just going in to like, people can do a lot of talk. And so it's like, but if you show up in real life, if the date sucks, if you have any feeling that like these are vibes that you used to have around these guys, what's amazing is you're grown up and you have free will and you sound confident enough that you'd be like, oh, I'm leaving.
Yeah, totally.
You know, you're not like, oh fuck, I'm gonna run into them and on my way to the next class.
Yeah.
But I do think taking it off the app and like going like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to let the hottest one take me out and see how I feel about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Don't work yourself up. Fucking go for the goddamn Moby Dick.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's great. I think that's, there's like, to get over that fear, there's almost like a sense of like role playing, right? Like what's the most confident version of you that would send these people messages? And how can you, I mean, humor is medicinal in so many aspects of life. And I obviously think dating is one where it's totally necessary even, that if you're able to open communication with jokes, then I feel like you already have like this level of banter and this level of non-seriousness that kind of maybe, I don't know, breaks the ice, breaks whatever like PTSD you have from, you know, your past with people like this, and keeps it just like fun and playful. Cause I don't know, the thing that I'm unsure of with this question is like, do you want serious, like a commitment from these people? Or are you just looking to have fun with these people? Yeah. Cause if you're looking to have fun, have fun.
And also another thing to remember is just because what you are seeing in this profile of who this person is now doesn't mean that's what they were.
Yeah.
When they were also of an age where they could have been made fun of.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like this guy who looks like a stud might not have always been a stud.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So everyone has their own baggage and their own bring up.
Totally.
So it's like, so go in with an open mind, but this sounds so bad, but like a little closed offness.
Yeah.
In protection.
You can have one foot out the door. Yeah. I mean, that's the safest way for, I think, everyone to operate.
And be sure, and furthermore, before you go on these dates, tell your friends that if you text them this, it means you're being abducted.
If you send them an Easter egg or Easter Island
statue
giant
face
monument head, you need to get the hell out of there. Yeah. And it's incredible because it truly does sound like you value yourself in a way that you cannot like really buy anywhere. You can't exercise yourself into. And that is, you know, I think going to help you if you meet with these people in real life, be able to like bullshit detect.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy is a piece of shit. And I don't want to be here with this person.
Yeah. The second you feel a whiff of disrespect or whatnot, you already know, like, get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
But you could also be pleasantly surprised.
True. Totally. I think your no expectations is huge.
And just go fuck the hottest guy.
Yeah. Reprogram the programming you have around hot guys giving you attention.
I'm just saying, because down the road, the same guy that you might be intimidated by now, you'd be like, oh, I already fucked that other guy who's way hotter. Why am I overthinking this guy who's like who's mid?
Exactly that. You just need a bit of perspective is all. And also, I'm curious for those listening that have advice or experience in this area. Let us know what you think.
But that is great.
Yeah. And this is fun. Thank you guys for sending these voice notes. It's so fun to listen to them in the email inbox and be like, oh, it's just our friends.
I know. It's our friends saying, what's up? I'll leave it with this, with the confidence thing, is when I was in New York and I was in between the event and going to the dinner that everyone was at, that we had such a good time. I'm in my red and pink dress. I'm feeling great. I'm in heels. I'm like, let me walk a little bit and then I'll hop in a cab. I called Chip. I'm FaceTiming. I'm like jumping over curbs. I'm full Carrie Bradshaw. Like he's like, look at this cute little side to the city, you know, whatever. And then I realized like, I have a blister. Like I'm going to be bleeding out from my feet if I don't get in a cab. So I grab the cab. I get in and he goes, oh, wow. How are you? And I was like, I'm good. And then he just goes like, you a Republican? And I go, no. And he goes, I'm kidding. I knew you weren't. I've never picked up a pretty lady who was a Trumper.
Wow. I like that guy.
He's like, if you're pretty, I know we're good.
Wow.
There aren't pretty Trumpers.
There you go.
So anyway.
Excellent. Okay, guys. Thank you for listening. Oh, I'm doing a show in Irvine this Thursday.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, she's doing that show tomorrow.
Tomorrow in Irvine. Go get tickets. It's going to be really fun. I feel really good about the show right now.
Yay!
And then I'm also doing Chicago and St. Louis and Atlanta, and I'm doing Edinburgh, and you can go to my Instagram bio and you can purchase tickets for that. The theater that I'm performing in is 75 seats every night.
So fun.
It's going to be crazy. So, and people are already buying tickets and it's really exciting. So get yours if you're interested.
So, and my book is available.
Yeah.
So go get a copy. It makes a great gift. Go see that beauty IRL.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And this got weird.
Yeah.
This might get weird.